Hi students, hi participants. I welcome you to this professional development course. I developed this course as a project of e-learning design, and as a mentor, as facilitator of this course, I have this as a professional development for philosophy teachers. And I would like to give you the overview of this course as a first video that you will perhaps to start with, because this introduces the whole course for you. And to begin with, I would like to deal some of the areas of the course that may be very important to start to think with. This course is a pure online class, and so I'll be facilitating remotely from my computer, and I'll be presenting to you the areas for learning, and I introduce this through a video like this so that I will have some contact with you in this process. The next thing that I would like you to deal with is that what is the issue that we would like to handle in this course? We would like to overcome a seeming problem in the classroom, the banking method of education. And we'd like to see an alternative pedagogy that will overcome this problem by developing a Socratic pedagogy pattern from Socrates of the 4th century, developing creativity and critical thinking to our students. And before we end, I would like to share to you my expectations expressed in the objectives and outcomes of this course. I would like you to look at this picture here, an image of a classroom, and I don't know if you are excited with this image, but I always see this as a reaction to students who are tired of listening, tired of being just recipients of knowledge. They are bored as well, receiving informations that we deposited to them. And also, they are not excited, perhaps they are not also learning at all. I encountered dual roles as educator, as a mentor, trying to design a creative classroom. So he was saying this as a way to challenge teachers.
I think probably most of us remember the teacher-centered classroom. This is probably what we're familiar with from our youth. You remember the teacher was up front and center. The students were in nice, neat rows, not allowed to talk to each other. And the teacher, the source of authority, downloaded information to the kids who regurgitated it back up on a test designed to measure how much content they could remember. Now, I have to admit, I love lecturing, but my students don't always love it. It does not always inspire. So I was thinking, what really inspires? Years ago, I was doing lunch duty at school, standing in the lunchroom, being visible, watching kids go through the cafeteria line. And as I watched the kids going through the line, it occurred to me, they love having choices. And so I said to myself, maybe that would work in the classroom. Let the kids have choices. And so that's what I did. I converted my classroom to a situation where student choice was a big part of the room, along with 4 other C's: collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. Actually, over 10 years ago, the National Education Association identified those last 4 C's on the list as essential 21st century skills that kids should learn, and I agree wholeheartedly. I've added choice to the top of the list, not as a skill for kids to learn, but rather as a characteristic of the classroom.
Now imagine a creative classroom. And how does that look like? I would portray that image in this picture here. that students discuss, they are empowered, they actively participate, they are involved, engaged, and collaborating. And I expect that Socratic pedagogy would turn your classroom into this. And Drew Rawls again had a challenge to teachers why there is a need for creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking, and also communication, because this can solve many of our social problems and also problems that we encounter every day.
Imagine our early hominid ancestors out looking for food. Don't you know that finding and tracking that woolly mammoth required critical thinking and problem solving? It definitely required collaboration, teamwork. I mean, you wouldn't want to do this by yourself. No way. And collaboration required communication. And then I imagine those people sitting around the campfire at night, reliving the adventures of the day's hunt. They must have had smiles on their faces when they were retelling the story of the hunt. And I know they smiled when they put those cave paintings up on the wall, because creativity is a uniquely human, pleasurable, satisfying activity.
Now, the goal of my Socratic pedagogy is to make education engaging and relevant. And these are words that may perhaps make me inspired to develop this course. And so Socrates, the founder of this pedagogy and method, will always ask questions. And the question that we can ask is, are all questions important? I encountered this Annabelle Jensen, who says that we need to provide better questions to our students to develop creative thinking or critical thinking.
Oh my gosh, there is such a stack of research out there about the kinds of questions that teachers ask. They want to know what the name of the character was. They want to know what color his shirt was. They want to know whether he went to school or not. And those are all factual, literal questions. I do not want to spend classroom time on those particular types of questions. I really want to focus on questions that will lead to critical thinking and creative thinking. So I have my own little formula for doing that. So I think about literal questions because they create a foundation for us and a basis, but I want to move as fast as possible into interpretive questions, the why questions. Why did that happen? Where is this going to go? If you were the character in the story, what do you think would be the ending? And then I want to make sure that we move into evaluative questions, because those are almost not happening at all in our classrooms. And that's the question that fuses emotion with authenticity and helps the child to really apply their thinking to real life situations.
And so I would like to end this short video orientation and my welcome to you by citing the 4 important objectives of the course. We would like to know why there is a need for Socratic pedagogy. Second, we need to learn from Socrates the origin of this pedagogy and the art of Socratic questioning. We also would like to learn how to apply our skills in Socratic pedagogy in our own classrooms and study best practices in here. And last one is how we make ourselves transform into an agents of developing critical thinking, creativity to our students, not just depositors of ideas. Thank you so much for listening, and so I'm so happy to have you in this class. Thank you. Bye-bye.